Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to our first video in the Shadow Dragon event. The first units up to bat is actually a 2-for-1, and that is going to be Gamma 1 and 2. Unfortunately, mine isn't on the starting rotation, but I was resetting so many times and it just wasn't giving it to me that I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. We're just going to have to firm it and then get mine on rotation. So the friend one, who is is indeed rainbowed, can start off in slot 1. He can start building up, and then Gamma 2 can do his thing by popping off multiple super attacks in slot 2, which of course he has bags of. And now after doing my 8th anniversary summons, this is actually going to hurt. Yeah, 240k. But after doing my 8th anniversary summons, now has 2 dupes, so the possibility of additional supers is there, which we definitely want to raise his attack and defense constantly. And also, the more he super attacks, or the more attacks he performs, the quicker we can build up his attack and defense up to 100% and build his 50% crit chance. Whereas of course on the other hand we have Gamma 1, which we're going to have to wait for mine. We need him to be hit 5 times to build up his attack and defense and his 50% damage reduction, as well as his 4-turn guard as well. Now the reason why SYN SHENRON is currently the hardest stage in the game until a couple months time, global hindsight, such a great thing. But in a couple months time, at the end of November, beginning December, when we get the Omega Shenron stage in the Shadow Dragon event. But the reason why SYN Shenron stays as one of the hardest stages in the game, for the time being anyway, is for that reason. Gamma 1 currently is, well, that friend Gamma 1 is rainbowed, has his guard. Yes, didn't build up any of his passive, or raise his attack and defense by 30% on super. But he has guard. And the reason why he still took over 200k there was because, I don't like doing this, but I need to float my Gamma 1 off, like the video is about them. But the reason why that's still done so much damage is to the reason as to why SYN is currently the most difficult stage on global, and was in Dokkan until the Omega Shenron stage dropped. And that is because the event is so difficult from the word go that units like the Gammas, in this video's case, but a lot of units in the game that need to build up, whether that's stacking or building up their passive, whether that's performing attacks, being hit, dodging, whatever it is, they need time to build up. And SYN SHENRON, from the word go, does not give you time to breathe. Literally, when you think about the hardest hitting units in the game, right, or the hardest hitting stages in the game, Broly, 1.4 mil on a super, cool. But Broly's difficulty gradually gets more difficult, but from the first couple of phases you're kind of okay. You're pretty much okay. You know, you have like breathing room for your units to build up, you know, for your units to be okay. I'm actually going to let Birdku just stay in slot 1 just so we can rotate the other Gamma 1 off, and also potentially trigger his guard by getting the revival off. You know, Broly starts off, okay, cool, guarantee me the revival. But Broly gradually gets more difficult before you hit the insanity there's 1.4 mil. I said SYN SHENRON, you're getting hit by 924k on a super from his first phase immediately. Which is why you want to avoid supers as much as possible. So units that need to build up, they're all at risk. Any unit needs to stack, build up a passive, get extra attack and defense, damage reduction, whatever it is. They're at risk as soon as you enter this stage. There is build up, but you're taking so much damage from a super so early on that almost every unit in the game, because of how much damage he does from the first phase, they just don't have enough to contend with it. Even his basics do 330k straight away, which, you know, is a lot easier to contend with. That's still a lot. That is still a lot. But yeah, this is why he is currently the most difficult stage on global and was the most difficult stage in the game. Because that's a lot of damage to be taken as soon as you start the event. So that's why even a rainbowed Gamma 1, yes, as I said, he didn't have any of his damage reduction or attack and defense built up from his passive. That's still why he took over 200k even with his 4-turn guard. So that is why he is so difficult. But at least now we're going to have my Gamma 1 on rotation. And from here on out, it only gets harder. The second phase, which is AGL, which we're going to have to be careful with because Gamma 1 does have type disadvantage. And mine does still need to build up. He's only been hit once. So I may actually pop a Whis just to be safe. Actually, Do I? Just in case there's a super in slot 1. I know he needs to be hit. But, you know, we only have 4-turn guard. To be fair, I do have my Gamma 1's guard a little bit longer because he was on the second rotation. But Gamma 1 can be susceptible a little bit here. Just because now the super attack damage is up to 1.176 million. And as I said, mine hasn't really built up any of his passive, any of that extra attack and defense, any of the damage reduction. That's why the super first was so important, to get that 30% attack and defense raise. So that's what, 2 more hits. We need to be hit 2 more times. Gamma 2 is going to be fully brought up after attacking, like, I think twice here. Which again, because of the dupes we've got from the 8th anniversary summons, unfortunately I didn't end off the anniversary of any of the new 8th anniversary LRs, including the Carnival LRs. But we do have 2 dupes in Gamma 2, as I already mentioned, and 3 dupes now in Gamma 1. So the extra stats are going to be very nice. The extra chances to additional and crit are also going to be very nice. Oh, he could nullify this actually. Perfect. Oh, he would have died. He would have died. He would have died. Funny thing is, even if he additional supered as many times as he could, it's 30%, it would have made a difference. I think he still might have died, or he would have took so much damage. But that nullify just absorbed 1.176 million. We would have been dead if he didn't nullify that. Big play from Gamma 2. But as I was saying, a lot of damage from the get-go with no build-up. I don't think I can get God Goku's guard here actually. So do you know what? Do I use an item? Do I? I think I'm going to, just in case. I think if my God Goku had dupes, I would be fine with not doing that. So we're going to do this. We're going to get some healing back with these. And then, yeah, cool. We'll do that. So this is why this event can be incredibly difficult. 50k. I think the group attack isn't too bad. Yeah, with the Whis, that's going to be fine. You're cool. You may dodge. No, but you're still fine. At least we've got the Whis going into next turn. I think my Gamma 1 may have lost his guard by now, or next turn will be his final turn of guard. But at least the final phase he'll have type advantage on, so there is that. But we are going to have to be careful with Gamma 2 because SYN's super attack is going to ramp up to 1.344 million. To be fair, it doesn't actually make that much of a difference to Gamma 2 because if he doesn't nullify the super, I'm pretty sure they're both Ki Blast supers. So if he doesn't nullify SYN's final phase of a super, he's still going to die anyway because he would have died on this phase as well if he didn't nullify without an item. But so far they're doing well. With the dupes and all the built-in additionals in Gamma 2, we can do a ton of damage. Especially with Gamma 2, with the possibility to crit, not only from the 50% chance in his passive, but also the crit chance from the potential system, the additionals in his passive as well, and also, again, the dupe system. And let's not forget, not only do these two link pretty much perfectly together, barring one link, but they also support. They also support each other, which is fantastic. So Gamma 2 is giving Gamma 1 attack plus 30% and Ki plus 2. Gamma 1 is giving Gamma 2 Ki plus 1 and defense plus 30%. Anyone would think they were made for each other. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So at least they're supporting each other, which is good. But I'm pretty sure he still does Ki Blast supers on this final phase. But we definitely do not have any more guard, that's for sure. There isn't 6 key spheres, is there? Let me drop these down. What are you going to give me? Yeah, no. Do I use an item? Maybe, because even Birdcoo doesn't have that much defense. This is a little bit worrying. I can't lie, just a little bit. Just a little bit. So now SYN on his final phase is doing 480k on a basic and up to the 1.344 on a super. Yes, it's a lot. Funny enough, it's less than Broly. But, you know, we're already going to die on some of these units if we didn't have an item active. For example, Gamma 2 is actually one of them on the last phase if he didn't nullify. So, the same thing applies here. We're going to die. Okay, no, we just... Wait, did he dodge? Okay, the friend Gamma 1 must have dodge. I mean, he didn't actually need to dodge it, but he must have some dodge in there. Maybe he's got 3 dodge. We are about to get a Dokkan attack, which is great. Which we're going to obviously give to Gamma 1 with a type advantage. And naturally, he's going to be in slot 1. So hopefully we can like pop out a crit. That would work incredibly well for us. There's a lot of group attacks here, which, I mean, at this point, now that the units have had time to build up, especially the Gammas, they should naturally just have enough defense to be fine. Oh! Whoever's Gamma 1 this is, your build's helping a lot. So fully built up, yeah, with a dupe, 615k on Gamma 1, who's about to get a Dokkan attack, 427k defense. Not quite enough to deal with SYN SHENRON's basics of 480, but don't forget, type advantage, and we have that 50% damage reduction, so the basics are going to be doing nothing. Gamma 2's in slot 2, so by the time he gets hit by a basic, that 393k defense, after like what, 1 or 2 supers, he's immediately already going to have enough defense to contend. He's chilling. We've got a Whis active right now, so we're good. Dodge? Yeah, of course, dodge. Right, let's pop this. Come on, get a crit. You've got 3 dupes in you, and I'm pretty sure you have a medium chance to crit in your passive anyway, if I remember rightly. Does he? Medium chance of performing a crit starting from the turn in which he receives the 5th attack in battle. Yeah, so he has a 30% chance to crit to built in, or 30% chance to crit built in, along with the crit chance he has naturally in his passive. So this could easily be a crit right now. Yes, that's a lot. Only 1 super though. That's a shame. Of course, he's taking no damage. We've supered. Only 30% attack and defense raise, but Whis and also the 50% damage reduction. Now, Gamma 2, if you want to do your thing, just pop off with multiple supers. Like, just do a drive-by. This is literally what Gamma 2 with dupes is. It's literally just a drive-by. Like, he's popping off all the Uzis. I was will call him Little Uzi Vert. Big 4.4 mil crit. There's another one. 8.2 mil we're up to. 2 30% attack and defense raises on him right now. Hopefully we can get a third. Hopefully we can get a third. Yes, 8.63 we're up to. That's another 30% attack and defense raise, which is good. I mean, a Whis, 3 30% attack and defense raises. Would he survive a super attack? I'm not sure. Another big crit. I mean, we're about to find out. We're about to find out. We may survive. Yeah, 348k. That's actually really good. I mean, he did super 3 times, but that's really good. Really, really good. 300k from a 1.344 million super. Again, we do have an item active, but a lot of units in the game, unless they have like guard, damage reduction, things like that, if you're just purely going off defense raises, which he doesn't even have 50% on super, he's got 30. So, you know, if... Oh, we got the 6, great. So even if, you know, even though we did super select 3 times, if I didn't have an item active there, Gamma 2 would be dead. A lot of units in the game, if you don't have an item active there and they don't have guard, damage reduction, don't raise their defense and super attack like multiple times by like 50%, you're either taking a lot of damage to the point where you're almost dead, like that 500-600k, maybe even 700k HP health bar is going to plummet, or you are getting one-shotted. And that applies to a lot of units in the game who aren't like the top units that of course have stuff like guard, plethora of damage reduction. If you don't have a Might active, there's a high chance that they will die. Gamma 2 unfortunately is under that branch of units. But still, 3 super attacks in Whis, he actually tanked that really well. Really well considering how much damage he could have taken. But of course, Gamma 1's chilling. This is where Gamma 1 goes on like cruise control, and Gamma 2 is the one you have to be careful for. But both the Gammas are doing really well right now. Honestly, I mean, they're still 2 of the best units in the game, and honestly, I love using them. I'm so glad I finally got dupes in Gamma 2 as well. The extra additional he can use, especially while you've got the additionals from the entrance animation as well, you end up doing so much damage, especially because how easy it is to build up his, you know, crit chance and the attack and defense just by attacking. Especially with the extra one from the dupe system, like, you can build it up even quicker because it's attacks, not super attacks, which means you can utilize for like another 3 turns because you can build it up that quickly. If you're unlucky, you only got 2 turns because you can only like, you can do it in 2 turns. you know, if you don't get it done in one, if you're ultra lucky with the additionals popping off. Ooh, I'm actually curious how much damage this is going to do. So he's got 130% attack and defense raise, all the damage reduction, type advantage, 99k! Yes! Make one of the hardest stages in the game look like a bitch. Love it. Love it. We've seen it with the year 5s of Red Zone. We've seen it with Gamma 1 and SYN. Yeah, you can build up Gamma 2 so quick. Gamma 2's passive so quick with the additionals and really utilize the built-in additionals he's got from his entrance animation. And also the 50% crit chance he gets from his passive anyway after that. Which means the amount of damage Gamma 2 can do along the way is a lot. Especially if he's critting. Which, to be fair, he hasn't really done too much on this phase, but they've both done really well to tank against SYN and do a decent amount of damage. Gamma 2 could have done a bit more, but they've done both really well. And of course, that support they give each other with the attack and D, like one giving each other, like one giving the other one attack, one giving the other one defense. The key, not overly important. It's so useful just giving that bit extra. Let's just pop the active. There we go, our first Shadow Dragon video done. The Gammas were up to bat. They actually beat the event pretty easily. I'm not gonna lie, Gamma 1 having type advantage and that damage reduction in the last phase makes it incredibly easy for him to tank in slot 1, which is great. That's just what you want from him. And the amount of damage Gamma 2 can do, very useful. Very, very useful, very, very handy. He can be a little bit of a risk, but you have an item active, he can tank just fine, and you will need to use an item on him. But that's the first 2 units done in the Shadow Dragon video. We're going to keep pumping these through and do a ton of the units we've already done before, some of the best units in the game, some fun units, all that type of good stuff. So don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace!